Everyone, it's Jane McLeod here, Facebook Live, and today we're talking about compliance versus commitment. Are you the kind of leader who influences others to commit and be extreme owners? Or do you find yourself sometimes just praying for compliance, right? So it's Tuesday. In Capstone language, we call this Gratitude Tuesday, right? We hope that you're having a week filled with very purposeful work, that at the end of it, you can look back and say, I did great work this week, because we should all do work that's very purposeful to us and that we can be grateful for. But remember, the inbox is always full. You will never achieve what it is you thought you should achieve. I'm having that very same problem myself this week. So commitment versus compliance. Let's talk about that, right? So influence is the very definition of leadership, mastering the ability to influence others, to lead them toward a shared vision, shared meaning something that you set with your department and with your employees, shared meaning something that you share with in alignment with the organization, right? So leading others toward a shared vision, influencing them to want to follow you versus just feeling compliant, like, okay, I'll do it because I have to. So let's talk about that word compliance, because compliance is kind of a buzzword in healthcare leadership, right? Like, we want everything to be in compliance. We're all monitored by the Joint Commission, by DNV, by CMS, whoever it is. Big Brother is continuously watching us. And so we want to be in compliance, but we don't necessarily want compliant employees. Now, did I, as a leader, continuously wish that my people would just do what the heck I told them? Heck yeah. But when you wish for that, or when you have employees that do that, okay, that just barely do enough to get by, that they're just kind of trying to suck under the radar and not be noticed by the boss, right? So if they're compliant, they're just doing enough to not get fired. That's how you need to think about it. And I remember clearly some of my very best nurses, like very, very clinically astute people, mostly my own age, when I would try to engage them in the why behind a change we'd put in place or something that we were doing to improve things, what would happen is I would say to them, now, why do you think we have to do this? Or I'd like to really hear your vision on why this needs to happen. And these very astute clinicians, very good people would say, because you said so, you're the boss, right? You're the boss. So there's really two different kinds of compliance. Those people that are just trying to not get fired, so they're compliant and following the rules, but they won't do anything extra for you, but they're compliant. Okay. And then those people who maybe it was the way they were raised, maybe it is the generation of baby boomers, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But, potentially they just, well, you're the boss, you know better than me. Like, wait a minute. I was just promoted into this position a month ago. Like, last month I had your job. What makes me so all-powerful and mighty right now, right? So being a leader gives you authority that you wouldn't ordinarily have. And it's, how do you use that authority? You don't want to use that authority to lead compliant people. You want to use that authority to lead committed people, or people that will follow your influence. And also they are going to be extreme owners, right? Because extreme ownership gets you results. People who are owners, not renters, who are committed to the vision of your department, your organization, and you as a leader are going to follow you because you did the right things. And I want to talk, about 3 great things that you can do to get that commitment. And we've talked a lot during Facebook Live, if you've attended our summit, if you've read our book, that there's lots of different ways that you can get this commitment, this ownership, this engagement out of your employees. But I want to talk about an H word today, and that H word is heart. Okay? Connecting to people's hearts. think about this. When you initially make a decision about something, whether it's buying a new car, it's buying a home, it's choosing your mate, right? That you make that initial decision with your heart. You're like, oh, I love that. Ooh, he's hot. He or she are hot. I'm attracted to that. It's with your heart. And then later you rationalize the great reasons for continuing that relationship with a new car, a new home, a new mate, okay? A pet, whatever. Julie Veneta and her dogs, okay? So, you have reasons for choosing, okay? And so, but you might your head comes second, the heart comes first. So you as a leader have tools that you've already put in place. We hope that you follow our template for great compliment, coach, and correct conversations. If you haven't purchased our book yet, The Employee Experience, A Capstone Guide to Peak Performance, go on our website and do that by all means. We lay the template out for you to have these great conversations with her. And then the second way is if you have developed the habit, another H word, of great rounding, one-on-one leader rounding, and really involving your employees when you're speaking with them one-on-one in the decisions and helping them help you become a more influential leader. So let me talk about the 3 ways that you connect to heart in every conversation that you have with your employees. And the first H is human, okay? And what I mean by this, and I learned this from Kim Scott in her YouTube videos called Radical Candor. And what Kim says is that as leaders, we need to bring our whole self to work. And I just love that concept. In fact, I added a slide to my resiliency talks at the summit on, pictures of myself as a grandmother, pictures of myself as a mother, pictures of myself as a biker, a hiker, a kayaker, a friend, right? We are all of those things. The fact that we're a leader is probably last on the list, right? You probably know that I'm a baby boomer, okay? The hair for it. And so we baby boomers as a generation set ourselves apart for one thing, that we are different than any other generation is, and it's not a great thing. We see ourselves as our work. We see ourselves as, I am the co-founder and principal of Capstone Leadership Solutions. I am the chief nursing officer at War Memorial Hospital. I am a registered nurse. I am a radiology tech. I am a public relations community member, Lindsay Peters. So I am those things. She's a millennial, so she doesn't do this, but I am those things. And probably the reason why we led the divorce rate as well is maybe we as a generation forgot to bring our humanness. Well, guess what? We're not going to get away with that anymore. Okay. Our employees have changed. The millennials have taken over the workplace. Our organizations have changed. It's time for us to change. Okay. So if you still view yourself as a leader when you are at work and you don't believe that your humanness, your other parts of you can come to work with you, it's time to rethink that. So be human in all the ways that you try to influence others, right? Bring your whole self to work. What is that whole self work? A whole self, and share it with others, okay? The second thing is to be humble. You can really capture someone's heart when you tell them stories. And especially when you tell them stories about yourself. As a leader, people tend to view you as never having made a mistake, as knowing everything. You have all the answers, right? That, somehow you got where you did by being over the top amazing. And that's likely true. But we still have to let others know that we can be humble about mistakes we've made along the way. And that when you are humble in your conversations with people and influencing them and saying, you know what, that very same thing happened to me. I had a situation when I did, and it didn't go well. So I understand what you're going through, right? tell a story about yourself. When this happened to me, I reacted in this way. Not, well, if I were you, I would do this. No, no. Okay. So to be humble in your approach, tell stories about yourself, but to just say, I don't know it all. I need you guys, right? I need you guys to help me. Okay. Because that's the third H. The third H is helpful. That if you're helpful in your approach with your employees, they're going to follow you and be committed to follow you and be engaged and owners, right? That and I'm not talking that you have to run all the trauma codes. I'm not talking that you have to do their work for them, but a true commitment and leading from where they work, not leading from your office, not leading from email. That, saying, you know what, you guys, I'm with you. I'm scared about this too. But we're all in this together, right? We're all in this together. I might be the person that's got to report to administration, what we just did, but I'm going to help you and I'm going to support you. And I know we can do this, right? Not me, not you, not get out there and do it, but we can do this. So bring your whole self to work. Be humble in your approach, right? Bad things have happened to you. Bad things happen to good people all the time, and being very humble and storytelling in your approach. And the third thing is to be helpful and let others know I'm right in this with you, right? And sometimes actions speak a lot stronger than words when it comes to being helpful, right? Actions speak a lot stronger than words. All right, so if you have any questions about this, be sure you post them right in there. I'd be glad to get back to you. I think Sue and I both do a great job answering the Facebook posts within 24 hours for sure. And we'd love to talk to you about any questions, concerns about the compliance versus commitment and what does that mean to you. So post in there, talk to each other. We'd love to get you guys more connected to each other. We've got some events coming up. The soonest one, besides my public speaking webinar, which is happening this Friday at 10:30, and last week's live video on public, your best presentation, posted that link to that webinar. But the one that's coming up in early August is being done by Sue. It's a masterclass on strategic planning. It's a 3-part webinar. And I'll tell you what, Susan Elaine has had 30 years of over-the-top experience across the country leading and developing strategy for organizations. So you're not going to want to miss this. And if you have an idea that maybe your organization's kind of missing the boat on strategy, you might want to send the link that my Whitney is going to post right now in to this webinar to your senior leaders, because they are traditionally the ones that do strategic planning. So Whitney will post the link in a comment so that you can either forward it or sign up yourself. There is limited class seating available, and I know we're up way over 50 now, and there's only 100 seats available for this. So you guys have a great Gratitude Tuesday, and work with humbleness, humanness, and heart. Okay, helpfulness. Sorry, get heart. Bye.